Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Whitney is off this evening. Tonight, Washington and Idaho's governors are at odds over Idaho's abortion bill that was recently signed into law. The bill prevents adults from taking minors across state lines for an abortion without a parent's permission. KREM News' Amanda Rowley is explaining how both governors are going toe-to-toe on this legislation. Amanda?
We are right in the middle of a battle between the Washington and Idaho governors, and they are not giving up this fight, and that's apparent in the letters they continue exchanging about Idaho's abortion trafficking law. At the beginning of April, Idaho's abortion bill cleared both legislative chambers. House Bill 242 prevents adults from taking minors across state lines for abortions without a parent's permission. Before it got signed into law, the battle between Idaho and Washington's governors began. On this side of the issue, we have Washington Governor Jay Inslee. And on the other side, Idaho Governor Brad Little. Governor Inslee stepped into the ring and took the first swing, sending Little a letter urging him not to sign the bill. He claims the bill could have many unacceptable consequences that can't be cured.
Idaho should not be able to criminalize what is going on in the state of Washington. We will not stand for that.
Little dodged that jab and the next day signed the bill into law.
We'll have a response shortly. I don't believe he understood everything about it.
That was 2 weeks ago, but today, Little came back with a response. In his letter to Inslee, Little clarified the bill does not criminalize interstate travel for reproductive care, but that it prevents minors from traveling across state lines for an abortion without parental consent. He also took shots at Washington state for its most pressing issues. The letter reads, "It is hard to imagine why someone would leave Idaho for Washington when your state is home to sky-high taxes, crime, and public encampments." He claims Idaho is in a much better standing. At the end of this round, Little wrote Idaho has the right and duty to make laws regarding abortion after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade last summer. Now, this afternoon, Inslee promptly stepped back into the ring with another letter to Governor Little. His office wrote, "Unserious diatribes will not deter Washington from defending the freedom and safety of anyone who comes here. That's one reason why we're consistently ranked one of the best states to live, work, and do business." Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, thank you very much. In other news this evening, there are now fewer than 50 people still living at the homeless camp off I-90 known as Camp Hope. A new count of the camp's population shows that there are now 44 estimated campers remaining there. At the height of the camp, there were more than 600 people living there. The number of tents has also been reduced to 34 and 8 RVs at the site. The fence along the 3 sides of the encampment also moved in to continue to shrink the camp. And coming up tonight, we are digging deeper into our city's homeless crisis. We're asking about the cycle of homelessness and talking one-on-one with some of the people caught right in the middle of it. The way a person becomes homeless is unique, but what might not be considered unique is the struggle to get out of homelessness. Spokane service providers say it can take a variety of resources and attempts to break the cycle. Joelle Fitzpatrick is one of many in our community hoping for a way out.
Going back to Camp Hope's not an option either.
It's just things that happen to people in vulnerable situations that they're at no fault for, but they are responsible for the decisions they make going forward and how they engage with services to get to that place where we can say, hey, you've totally killed it, let's help you get an apartment or unify you with your mom or whatever that next step is.
So join us at 6 o'clock tonight for more on this story. Hear how people in our community are working through homelessness and how providers are trying to support them at every phase of that journey. In the meantime, we'll take a quick break from the headlines to talk weather and look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. Jeremy's actually tracking the potential for some snow moving in. Jeremy?
Oh, I know, right? All right, let's talk about it because I think right now plays a big role in what we wind up seeing as we head into the rest of the evening. Let's take a look at temps. I like starting here right now because we sit in the upper 40s in Spokane, 47 in Coeur d'Alene, 46 in Sandpoint. Look at the map. Everyone is in the upper 40s, if not the 50s. That plays a huge role in what we wind up seeing as our storm or frontal boundary moves in. That front already making its way into the Cascades and starting to see a little prefrontal activity move into central Washington. That likely makes it to us at about, say the 9 o'clock hour. It starts out as rain as it moves in. It's just way too warm to get snow, but overnight, we get the front, we get the cold, and we tap into some of the coldest time of the entire day. So what winds up happening for us is that there is a window between about midnight and 2 a.m. that snowfall's pretty widespread, even here in Spokane. Now, when it comes to the impacts of that snow, I do believe they're quite minimal. And the reason is, with temperatures as warm as they are day and night, I don't think it really sticks below, say, 2,500 feet on the roads. That means all of Spokane's fine, and you really don't encounter that slick road until you get up into the mountain passes, and by the afternoon, warm enough to melt everything that falls.
Jeremy will check back in with you later in the broadcast. In the meantime, heading over to Olympia, Washington is expected to become the 10th state in the nation to ban the sale of assault weapons. The bill cleared its final hurdle yesterday, passing the House 56-42, mainly along party lines. Governor Jay Inslee is expected to sign that bill into law at some point this week, and it will immediately take effect. It would ban all future sales, import, and manufacture of guns defined as assault weapons. One thing the legislation does not ban is possession. Gun owners who already own one would not be impacted by the law, leading to a rush at the cash registers. In other news, Spokane Valley Police looking for a man who allegedly exposed himself to 2 girls at a school's parking lot. The 2 girls told police the suspect got their attention, then proceeded to lift his shirt and expose himself. The man is described as wearing a gray hooded jacket, black pants, a black shirt, black and white shoes, a black face mask, and a gray or camouflage backpack. Anyone with any information is urged to call that number right there at the bottom of your screen. And just into our newsroom, tomorrow the Coeur d'Alene School Board will decide whether or not to declare a financial emergency. According to a press release from the district, if the upcoming May 16th levy fails, they may have to close 1 or 2 schools. The district expects to identify 4 of the schools that may be up for potential closures, as well as this comes after voters shut the $25 million levy down last month, forcing the district to consider a financial emergency in the first place. That meeting is set for tomorrow at noon. We'll keep you posted.